Hello and welcome to Studio1X2, football's home away from home. This is where we draw the game's beautiful picture for you. I'm your host, Mbwana, and you already know all my guests are special. None more than the lady in studio today, AFC Leopards fans on host Gladys Midecha. Glado, karibu sana to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Brilliant. And as always, our resident football expert, former Kenya international, and a man who claims to be the highest goal scorer in a season, Boniface Ambani. Boni, vipi?
Nako salama sana, labda
Fiti. Uko sawa?
kabisa.
Brilliant. How has your Euro experience been?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Italy has lived the building.
Yeah.
People have written it off, but it's excellent.
Glado, how has your Euro experience been so far?
Absolutely amazing. This is the reason why we watch Euros. A little bit of disappointment, more surprises, a tournament I am looking forward to.
Italy and Wales took charge of Group A. Belgium have made their mark and now all eyes will be on them. The Netherlands' young squad has already qualified for round of 16 and don't look like a side missing the best defender in the world. Czech Republic have been the surprise package in Group D. Group E has now become all about last match day mathematics. And you know what? The group of death has given us the football we all asked for. Now we dive deep into game analysis. It's time for Bonnie's best bet. I just wanna be free. The group stage officially ends today, and we get to see which sides from Group E and F will make it to the last 16. Group E is very close with surprise leaders Sweden playing last-placed Poland, and Bonnie's disappointing Spain needing to bring their A game against Slovakia. Sweden top their group going into today's final games and are pretty much guaranteed a spot in the knockout rounds, even if they lose. Their opponents Poland need a win and will be hopeful after a positive performance against Spain on Saturday. It's last chance saloon for a disappointing Spanish side, as only a win will see them qualify for the last 16. The opponent Slovakia will know a draw will see them through. Do you think Slovakia will shut shop, and how do you see this group playing? Bonnie, let's look at Group E, and the match that we want us to look at is Slovakia versus Spain. Spain haven't won a game.
Yes.
Are you disappointed?
I'm so much disappointed, but my disappointments, I think they started early enough when Enrique coach named his squad without Madrid players. How can you do that?
He's a Barcelona guy.
No, Madrid is one of the best teams in Spain. Yeah?
Yeah.
And when you have a blend
And
of...
rightfully in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And when you have a blend of players from Madrid and Barcelona, those guys get to the national team. When they get to the national team, they are competing for spaces. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah?
Gladys, talk to us about this exclusion of Real Madrid players. Is it something to blame for in the shoddy kind of display that Spain has given?
I think it is. When you look at the backline of the Spanish team right now, it's not exactly the most convincing backline. There are loopholes. We saw in their match against Sweden. Yeah. If Sweden actually just took their chances and were more assertive, they would have scored. I mean, Isak was looking very, very good. And at the back, you left a player called Nacho Fernandez, who plays for Real Madrid. He is the most versatile player we have in Real Madrid because he can play any position at the back. But then you bring Eric Garcia, a man who's not even featured in Man City for, I think he's played less than 700 minutes in a whole season. And you want to convince us that he's good enough? We are looking at the young, the young players like Pedri. He was absolutely amazing in their first game, but he was just not doing enough. And let's not even go to Morata, as he's still doing what he does.
I understand your disappointment.
Exclusion of the guys like Asensio. That guy, you need speed. Sometimes there's no way out.
A team that is not concerned about exclusions is Sweden. Not given a chance coming into the tournament, but now they are top of the table.
Yeah.
Now they're playing Poland in the last game of the group.
A team like Sweden, they just came to the tournament. People wrote them off, but at the end of the day, see where they are.
I think he's talking about Slovakia in that regard.
Pool, interesting. In this pool, everybody still has a chance of qualifying. We have Sweden with 4 points, Slovakia 3 points, Spain with 2 points, and Poland with 1 point. So everybody, there is something to play for everyone. How do you call this group?
I think I call call this group in this manner. I think Sweden will play for a draw with Poland because that is what they do best. You can see their defense.
And just get the extra point and
just
qualify.
get the extra point and qualify without sweat. Then Slovakia, if Spain is not careful, they might actually lose this game because they will be concentrated so much on pushing the game too forward, and they might actually be caught on the counter-attack. Look at what they did to Poland. And I am so disappointed in Poland because, first and foremost, bet zangu zote za ziliungwa because these guys have Lewandowski, but they just could not.
The goal-scoring machine.
Yes, but they were not feeding him balls enough. And you know, he's one guy we're actually looking forward to seeing him as a top scorer in this tournament. I don't know if Spain is going to do anything. I just think the Slovaks might actually...
You just said Slovakia might just play out for a draw.
Yes.
And they qualify probably. Let's move to Group F, the group people call the group of death. Germany playing Hungary and Portugal playing France. First, let's start with Germany-Hungary. Bonnie.
Germany, the way they blew up Portugal, my friend. I'm just
Yes.
Her team.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see Germany, they have 3 points.
Yeah.
And they want to qualify.
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing any chance for Hungary. The way those guys were hunger for goals against Portugal, the way this dismantled Portugal, I'm not seeing any chance for Hungary.
Gladys, do you give the Hungary a chance?
I did tell you before that I felt that this Hungarian team was very well placed in a group where it was very tightly off. Look at what they did to the world champions. They held France. And if Germany are not careful, they may just let their guard down as France did, and they might actually be beaten on the counter. Keeping in mind that, again, Germans are not the best of defenders. They actually have very, very slow defenders. So in this... Yes. Oh, you saw what Cristiano Ronaldo did to him. I mean, you do not do that. You do not do that to any man who knows how to play football. Who has a family. What will his children say, you know? But looking at it this way, I think the Germans have everything to fight for.
What's interesting is when people are talking about group of death, nobody gave Hungary a chance.
I did.
Because when you say group of death, they talk about Portugal, France, and Germany. But now Hungarians have also told people that, hey, we didn't just come here to
I did. I was here with the two of you and I told you that Hungary might actually cause an upset. I just didn't expect it to be against France.
Let's talk about the big match, Portugal versus France. Take it away.
It's going to be a very technically nail-biting match. Why do I say this? I think when you look at their meetings, it has always been a very close game, winning 1-0, 2-1, 1-0, 2-1. And when it comes to that point, the Portuguese are going to have to correct the mistakes they did against the Germans. And hence, I feel like the Portuguese might just want to edge out France.
Bonnie, this is a repeat of the 2016 Euro finals. Portugal coming up against France. Everybody wants points. How does this go?
If you get a point in this match, definitely you'll wait for the mathematics in the pool. So it's not going to be an all-open match. Because France...
They're going to be cautious.
Each and every team is going to be cautious. France needs 1 point. They're sure they'll be on 5 points. So Portugal, they also need a point or 3 points. They're sure if they get to 4 points, maybe they'll have to wait for the mathematical in the pool and see if they can score at least. Is giving up
please.
When you're talking about the forward line of France, let's just take out Kylian Mbappe and ask ourselves what else will France bring on the table, because they'll have to play a totally different formation.
But they have Mbappe.
If you look at Kylian Mbappe right now, all they're doing is Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kante are making sure that they're just giving the ball to him and then they're making the runs. But what happens, look at what the Hungarians did. They were able to cut off the supply to Kylian Mbappe, and that's why we didn't see Kylian Mbappe as much as we wanted to in that particular match. In this game, as you said, it's going to be a game of defense. Both teams do not have the best of defenders. Your friend,
Kimpembe
is not exactly convincing, and at the back we still have
a World Cup medal, remember?
He does have a World Cup medal, but when you look at the quality of defenders that we have in this tournament, he's not even ranked among the best 10. And in this particular match, it's going to be a battle of defense and forward, as Bonnie rightfully put it. One side we have Cristiano Ronaldo and Diego Jota, and this other side we have Karim Benzema, and we also have Kylian Mbappe. But every time they take out Karim Benzema and bring in Giroud, you look at the formation and you're like of what is going on. It's like so much has changed.
We asked you to give us your predictions coming into these games, and here are your predictions. Group E, Bonnie, you predicted Sweden will walk over Poland 1-0. Slovakia will be beaten by Spain 2-0. Those are your predictions.
Yes.
Gladys, you predicted a barren draw for Sweden versus Poland.
Yes.
And a 2-0 win for Spain versus Slovakia. All of you are looking at Spain beating Slovakia 2-0?
You know, I'm just about to like sit down and I'm calling myself for a meeting and I'm asking myself, did I really say the right thing?
Did you really mean it?
Because looking at the way Slovakia has been, you know, Tom, they have been absolutely impressive. They've been very compact. They're not letting in any goals. They've only conceded 2 goals. That tells you that this is a team that on technicalities might give Spain a hard time. But again, looking at it from the reverse end, Sweden is not exactly the most technical team when it comes to scoring. So hence giving Spain the reason, the 2 goals. But again, I ask myself, who's going to score for Spain?
For
You know,
Spain.
I think you sit down, it's like,
Who is going
really,
to score the 2 goals for Spain?
Please
Morata
don't say
is there.
Morata. Oh no, please.
Morata
come on.
is there.
Morata had barely.
Let's move to Group F. Bonnie, you predicted a 2-1 win for Germany against Hungary and a 1-0 draw for Portugal versus France. Gladys, you predicted a 2-0 win for Germany versus Hungary. And you say that the defending European champions, Portugal, are going to beat the defending world champions 2-1.
Yes. The reason why I'm saying that is because this is a game I expect over 2.5 goals. Cristiano Ronaldo and his teammates are actually going to score. Even in the game against Germany, yes, it was a high-scoring game, but they always got 2 goals or more. So I'm expecting them to actually score the 2 goals. Now, when it comes to France, I am trying to see who else will do the magic work for them. And in this particular case, I actually see Griezmann stepping up and not Karim Benzema or Giroud. So I think they'll get a goal courtesy of
Antoine Griezmann.
Antoine Griezmann.
Bonnie, you are probably encouraged by Germany running riot over Portuguese to predict Germany beating Hungary 2-1.
Yeah, they need to qualify. They need the 3 points. So to me, definitely they're going to run over Hungary.
With the group stage ending today, let's join Balo on the streets of Nairobi and find out what the fans think about the tournament so far.
I just wanna be free.
Thank you, Tom. So we're back in the streets of Nairobi. We want to find out what people think about the games that have been played. We've seen amazing goals. We've seen great games that have been played. So we want to go to the streets and find out.
I just wanna be free.
Niaje?
Poa sana.
Uko sawa?
Niko poa.
Awesome. Kwa majina?
Naitwa Sam.
Sam. Sam, una support timu gani Euro 2020?
Mi naenda na France. Portugal.
Belgium.
France.
Nani unaona anaenda kubeba top scorer?
Top scorer atakuwa Romeo Lukaku.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Lukaku.
Lukaku. Naona tu ni Mbappe.
Game mbamba sana ni game ya Italy na Turkey.
Kwa ya France na Germany.
Ni ya Portugal na Hungary.
Ni ya France na Germany. Hii game ilikuwa maplayer wote ni ma big fish.
Timu ambayo ni kubwa yenye ichezi venye inafaa ni England.
Timu haijani impress ni England.
Ni Germany.
England mimi sikuwa natarajia kama wanza win 1-0.
England.
Hivyo umemwona ile imetoka country ya ZH Republic. Ule player anaitwa Sich.
Favorite goal yangu ni ya Cristiano Ronaldo.
You've heard from the fans. That's all we had for you today from the streets. Back to you in studio, Tom.
I just wanna be free.
Thank you, Balo. Tension and excitement is all that can be felt in the air. With all the games, we are awarding one punter with a 5,000 shillings free bet every day when you place the highest winning odd. How do you do that? Select a multi-bet with 4 or more selections, and if it has the highest odd and wins on the day, you get a 5,000 shillings free bet from Betsafe. And that's not all. At the end of the Euro, the person who would have placed the highest overall winning odds will win a TV, a surround system, and a phone. That's all the leopard in the studio, Gladys Midecha, our football expert Boniface Ambani, and I had for you. Thank you so much for coming to the studio. Will we have a funeral in the group of death, or Spain finally score a goal? We'll know in a couple of hours. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, Ekelea 1X2.